offense, including Jaden Baugh, who tied the single-game rushing touchdown record after putting the ball in the end zone 5 times. Napier believes his team is functioning well on both sides of the ball right now.
Played really good on the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Thought the defense was really good on conversion downs. The momentum plays in the game, the fourth down stops. Obviously, Montrell being out for Jaden Baugh to step up, with Graham being injured and out for the year for DJ to step up, and a really good defensive performance. We played complimentary ball, and again, I think we probably played our best football of the year, and I'm really proud of the resiliency of this group.
The Gators will focus on their bye week before they take on Georgia next Saturday. It's 78 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time, that's the name.
Prime time.
What time is it? Showtime, prime time.
It's XL Primetime. Featuring Joe C.
Why in the world am I sitting back and being quiet about this?
Matt Hayes.
Oh my God, this is ridiculous.
And Leon Searcy.
If you can't hang with the big dogs, stay on the porch.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Oh, yeah, we are ready to crank it out. We've got our head coach, Dave Campo, hanging out with us today at Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota Tuesday, and we are ready to rock and roll. Welcome to the 2 o'clock hour, XL Primetime, always ready to crank. Just like Beaver Chevy and Beaver Toyota with great deals, you're starting to feel just a little bit of cooler weather, and you can certainly check out some of the great rides that they've got. If you're thinking about those family trips, be it the holidays, for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, whatever it might be, make sure you check out all the great lineup of SUVs, pickups, economy, and luxury sedans. They got them all. Beaver Chevrolet on Phillips, Beaver Toyota St. Augustine, right there in the AUG. So we figure today we're going to spend a little more time on that win over the Bears and then start looking ahead to their next, that didn't happen. Win over the Bears did not happen. Right. Let me take that back right now. Win over the hapless Patriots. I said to Coach earlier, Leon, how bad is New England when this team got their head coach to say about his own team, we're soft? How bad are they when this team got that coach to say his team is soft?
Oh, well, you got to remember now, Mayo played in the league. I mean, he played under Belichick. He knows the temperament of his team. And that team, for the most part, on both sides of the ball, is soft. And I like that he called them out.
Yeah.
I really do. And they got motive to be better.
Yeah, he said we got to figure it out.
Yeah, got to figure it out. I mean, it's time out for coddling these players. They make so much money, all right? They do so much less, and then they perform the way they perform. The hell with that. Yeah. If they bad, call them bad.
This is immediately Leon launching into his era.
Yes, I am.
The show gets rolling.
I am. Absolutely.
That's for sure. All right, but we're still going to look at that game because Coach is in with us, so we'll definitely go back over that 60 minutes. But just kind of start us off a little bit. Coach, the way it started was bad. The way they were able to take control was good.
Yeah, first of all, the big knock on this football team is the ability to handle adversity. So, being on a positive, which, we need to do a little bit. I mean, it can be easy to be negative even in a win sometimes, but a win is a win and it's very difficult. And so for them to, to get down like that and then to not say the heck with it, we're done.
Yeah, not back in.
They came back and they scored 22 points in the second quarter. They only had one drive in the first quarter, and that was 3 and out or 4 and out. They got one first down, I think. But
well, Matt, I said to Coach earlier, you think about this football team, the explosive ability that they have offensively, you certainly can see it with the way Trevor has played these last 3 games, some really solid numbers. Obviously, Brian Thomas emerging. Tank now is I believe, your first and second down running back as opposed to your second string running back. Anyway, the Evan Ingram, just all that stuff. There is a good enough offense out there to compete.
You know what I think it is as much as anything, and I'd love to get your comments on this too, Dave, both sides of the ball too, is I think in specifically last game, not against the Bears, obviously, but I think they're doing the little things. When you can like make sure you're doing the little things and you're doing them right, then you're going to get that consistency. Then you're going to, when you get that consistency, then you get the big plays. Then you get the ability to have big plays like that. Like they haven't been consistent the entire season. Mm-hmm. I think in that last game it looked like, all right, I see that block being made. Okay, I see that protection slide. Okay, I see the receiver catching the ball. Okay, right, just little things like that.
Yeah, well, I listened to Leon on the fifth quarter talk about, guys getting up to the second level, guys, passing guys off and getting where they need to be in a pass rush and all those things. Those are the things you're talking about.
The things you have to do,
which we haven't done, and you can move that to other positions. It's not just the offensive line, but I thought Leon made a point.
Yeah, Walker Little was doing that, right? He was getting to the second level.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the emphasis has got to be made in practice, not necessarily with the coaching staff, but within your group. You can't let stuff slide when you're playing as bad. When you got a 2-5 record, or you had a 1-5 record, as a teammate, if you care anything about you can't let stuff slide. Mm-hmm. When you're watching film, it's not necessarily the coach's job to critique it. If you're a teammate and you see your guy not doing his job, you got to address it. If he like it, he don't like it, you don't care, because you're trying to win games. You are trying to win football games, and attention to detail is more important than anything else. Mm-hmm. It separates the good teams from the great teams. It's the small factors, the extra film, the technique, that step, that double team, that coming off on all that little stuff right there, where it may seem trivial to you in practice, right? But it'll win more games than you lose if you take care of it.
One of the things that's interesting to me is, and I pointed this out to you during the game, I think, Joe, was, everybody says, has this guy lost the locker room, right?
Right. That was the theme.
We were talking about it, and the punt return is a perfect example of how he has not lost the locker room, because the blocks on that punt return were perfect. I mean, they left one guy open, and that's the guy he had to make miss, and he did. But as far as blocks, it shows that there's a lot of guys on that team effort and care about winning.
And give their special teams coordinator some credit.
Absolutely. I think he's coaching. Yeah, and that's great. That's great. But to go along with what you just said, Matt, that's got to not just be the guys that are trying to, show that they can play on the special teams. That's got to be everybody doing the little things. Right. And that's the difference in winning and losing in the league.
Heath Farwell definitely has done a good job. So let me just circle back to this one thing. And Leon, all right, we saw some bad on the defensive side, obviously, but we also saw some good. When they started to catch a little bit, this is the first time they've worked with a lead in a while, all right? Besides their 3-0 start against the Bears. They just haven't had too much of it. Anyway, on that side of the ball, they started to catch a little fire, a little energy, correct? And that was a positive. And how do you feed off of that player to player in the locker room?
Well, as a defense, I mean, you're a lot more enthused when you got a lead than when you're trying to play catch up, all right? Because you always feel like the behind the 8 ball when you're down 10, 14 points, which we were. But then when we took the lead, you could see the emphasis, you could see the excitement of the defense getting after each other. So that's important that you do play with leads.
Yeah. And we'll find out if they can feed off of that. That is the number one thing going into this next game. But right now,
that just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right, now I've been saying for a couple of weeks that the Vikings quarterback spot is not as bad as people think it is with Sam Darnold. Well, Dov Kleiman of the NFL, he covers the NFL on Twitter. He said there are rumors that the Vikings and the Rams are in serious discussions for trade of Matthew Stafford to the Vikings.
Wow.
And the trade deadline is coming up fast. And Matt Stafford, honestly, is he is a fun cat to watch operate, play the position, play the sport. He really is. But wouldn't that be crazy if they said, we're here, but we want to get up here? And now Matt Stafford could come back into the NFC North,
right,
and cause problems for his old squad, the Detroit Lions. Isn't that is
crazy? Yeah. Well, they played Detroit the other day, and they figured that Sam probably couldn't get it done against him, which he didn't play bad.
He played
He
really
played real good.
What was it? His numbers?
It was 24 of 27 or something like
So
that.
what would be the reason to trade him then? They don't think that train's going to be able to last. That's the only thing.
I'm telling you. I'm not saying. I just think something can slow down Sam at some point in the season, whereas Matt Stafford is a tried and true. If they are going down that road,
right.
And let's just quickly compare. This is the same thing that Mike Tomlin decided to do with Russell Wilson. Russell may also fade. He may get rusty again after getting hit a few times. But Mike Tomlin said, we can't stand on this record and the quarterback play that we're getting. We need to get more out of that position.
I get it, but I think you also got to look long term. Like, what happens after this year? You're going to make JJ sit another year? JJ McCarthy?
Stafford's so close to being at the end anyway. He was close to – they thought he might have been close this past year, a year after winning the Super Bowl and kind of getting beat up. He definitely had some injuries that he had to deal with.
Maybe they think they can win the Super Bowl. So I guess if that's the case.
Yeah, J.J. McCarthy is an afterthought right now. They're trying to push their chips in.
Yeah, they're trying to win it.
They're trying to win it right now.
Because what's that going to cost them to get him from the Rams?
Yeah.
I guess the cycle of Matt Stafford cost 2 firsts for him to go to L.A., and it's probably going to be similar to that.
At least one first, right?
Yeah. This is 3 years after that went down, at least 3 years. So it wouldn't cost as much.
But at least a 1 and a 3 or a 1 and a couple 4.
It's cost them a little bit. That's for sure.
What's so funny is you look inside that division, and this is the best start that the NFC North has ever had, going back to this past week when they were 6-0 and the other teams were two losses or less, including Chicago. And so, yeah, that's wild. That's a hell of a competitive division.
The Rams are also trying to trade Cooper Kupp, by the way.
Yeah.
It's another thing
I did hear that one as well. And who else? Kansas City was in on that bad boy.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this: all 4 of the North teams are in the playoffs if they were played today.
Yeah, they look good. They would take up the 3 wild cards if that were the case. And honestly, I did not see that coming from Chicago. And maybe even I think when we made our preseason predictions, we weren't sure when did J.J. McCarthy get hurt?
Early.
Yeah. So we knew it was Sam Darnold.
Game, I think. First preseason game.
Yeah. I was thinking it might have even been
really
earlier
early.
than that. Yeah. Anyway,
he definitely played in a preseason game.
Yeah. So that's a competitive division, and these teams, they're saying, you know what, we're going to go for it. I read some stat this morning, and I'd have to go back and find out, but the cost to have Derrick Henry was something in the neighborhood of 325th salary cap figure in the National Football League right now. 325th. And what is he doing up there in Baltimore?
My goodness.
And remember, Jerry said we couldn't afford him, which he just made that up.
Oh, he just made a mistake.
Yeah.
Period.
And my gosh. The Diesel, they just sat him on the side for the first half last night. They said, listen, you know how sometimes you got to walk up. You just got to walk up to your, like if it's old Smokey and the Bandit, old Jerry Reed says, let me just crank this thing up. Just let it just warm up for a minute. Yeah. And it just sits over there at the side of the Flying J. Well, that's what they did with Derrick Henry. They just let him sit basically for the entire first half.
Bro, you know what's funny is I was watching the Manning cast and Belichick's on there, obviously, in the first half.
Yeah.
And Belichick kept saying, look, they're going to give it to Derrick Henry in the second half, and that's going to be a problem. He kept saying it.
And I knew I didn't know exactly what they were doing, but I knew they were up to something when they said, we don't need you now as much as we will need you later.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
And they're looking at him like you really don't want him in there for 4 quarters.
Because look who else they have.
Yeah, I mean, they got some good
Not only that, by the way.
That was a hell of a game from
Just
Lamar.
FYI, Belly, everything he said in that game, I mean, on that Manning cast,
right?
Looks like I wouldn't mind him being a coach.
Does it make you kind
somewhere close to Northeast Florida?
Yeah, just from like a game tendency situation.
I mean, he was nailing everything.
Yeah, he's a good defensive
He is a
coach.
ball
I know
coach,
that
man.
for
By
sure.
the way, second half of the Manning cast, Ed Reed was just loving it. He was living it and loving it. He was in his own personal humidor because he had his stogies and he was just sitting back holding the court.
He's a brother of the leaf for sure.
Yeah.
and Belly was just raving on him for like 2 minutes during the first half.
And Ed Reed was raving on Peyton, like almost where Eli was like, "Hey, I'm over here.
Right?
You see
I'm
me?
a Hall of Famer."
Maybe. All right, so let's keep it going on the Jags. So how do they take a win against a bad football team and turn it into a good win against a really good football team in the Green Bay Packers this Sunday? We'll at least touch on a little bit of that with our head coach, Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota Tuesday. We say thanks to them. Thanks to you for hanging out with us. Don't forget, you can find us on YouTube. Any of our shows you want to go back and watch, just search XL Primetime.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. He's fearless in the face of danger when entering enemy territory.
What is your mission?
Get insights and interviews from Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline when he takes you behind enemy lines. Brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
Did you know you can charge the all-new Honda Electric Prologue in the same receptacle as your phone? You don't need any special charging stations at your home. Simply plug in your Honda or your phone. See your local Honda dealer now. We're electrified.
Hello, all you Jacksonville sports fans. Don here from Taco Lou. If you're in the mood for some great tacos, cold Dos Equis, maybe even a sip of some fine tequila, then the Lou is calling your name. Come out to Jack's Beach and experience what many have dubbed the #1 taco in the 904. There are plenty of great taco joints in town, and we're proud to have been around for this long, and we have only you, the fine people of Jacksonville, to thank for helping us grow and become who we are today. Cheers to you, Jacksonville, and thank you from the Lou crew. Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
Poker players, brace yourselves. The World Poker Tour storms into Best Bet Jacksonville October 31st to November 19th, and the forecast calls for massive prize pools. Event 1 has a cool $200,000 guarantee. Event 6, a downpour of $300,000. And the main event, a flood of a $1 million guarantee. WPT Championship satellites are already brewing. Don't get left high and dry. Head to bestbetjacks.com for details. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? You have questions? Call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Hi, Jags fans. Walker Little here for my friends at Kingfish Pest Control. Playing offensive line in the NFL, I must block and protect on every down. When it comes to keeping my home pest-free, I expect that same level of protection. So I contacted Kingfish after seeing thousands of positive online customer reviews about their service. I can confirm from personal experience, bugs don't stand a chance getting past Kingfish Pest Control. Do what I did. Reach out to Kingfish Pest Control to protect your home, a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's about the hunt.
Captain Kevin Favor here with Captain Kirk and Jeff Lagerman. We take you from the water to the woods.
On the Nimnicht Outdoors Show. Presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Let's go to the woods, y'all.
Saturday mornings from 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
If you're looking for custom metalwork, look no further than Superior Fence and Rail. Whether it's custom railing, shade structures, or custom entry gates, their expert team controls the turnkey process. From CAD design and raw metal to powder-coated finish and expert installation. When you choose Superior Fence and Rail for your custom metal project, you get a project that's, well, superior. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail today.
The Sunshine State says it all in the nickname. That summer sun in Florida can take its toll on an air conditioning unit and send your electric bill through the roof. Florida Home AC can help you handle the heat with a brand new AC unit with low monthly payments and over $3,000 in federal tax credits on select systems. So this summer, don't sweat it out. Cool off with Florida Home AC, the official AC company of the Jaguars. Call them today, 777-4300, and check out their tremendous savings on a brand new AC system.
Welcome to ABS Advanced Business Solutions, your local authorized technology partner and home to Xerox copiers.
Advanced Business Solutions.
Brian Wall here with Window World. You know that awesome feeling when you finally find that one place to go to that will give you a top quality product at a great price and then stand behind what they sell you? That's exactly what Window World does. Top quality, energy efficient windows at a great price that keeps more of your money in your bank account. With the absolute best guarantee in the window replacement business. That's why Window World has been the #1 window replacement company in the USA for years, selling more than 1 million windows each year for the past 8 years. That's a lot of satisfied customers, and you can be one too. Save money on installing new energy-efficient windows and save on your energy bills too. You can't lose. And if anything goes wrong with your new Window World windows ever, Window World and I will be there to make it right. Call Window World today or see them online and have them come and give you a free estimate and see why we are so proud of our products and the work we do for our customers. Call Window World or go online at windowworldneflorida.com. And thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Hey, Hickett here. I want to talk skin along with my friends at Beach's Dermatology, reminding you to wear your sunscreen. Football season is back, baby. And with that, days under that bright sun. So when you load up that truck for the game day tailgate, or the chairs for your kids' flag games, or even the boat heading downtown to watch our Jags, make sure you bring the screen. Sunscreen, that is. It's a must here in Duval. But if you have any concerns right now, give Beach's Dermatology a call online at beachesdermatology.com.
I-9 Sports is getting geared up for more fun for kids all over the First Coast with winter and spring registration now open. Kids ages 3 to 17 can get in the gym or on the field with I-9 Sports, covering Clay, Duval, and St. John's, and I-9 introducing all-girls volleyball and flag at Duval Charter and all-girls flag at Nocatee, plus flag, soccer, t-ball, and basketball for boys and girls too. So don't miss out. Registration open now for winter and spring at i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
Looking for a new or used firearm? Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach will get you locked and loaded. New firearms coming in weekly and always looking for used guns. No lines and no waiting. Online at beachesjewelryandpawn.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Our head coach hanging out with us in the 2 o'clock hour, the locker room, to say, hey, we did that.
It's the coach's job to keep the guys in tune to the rest of the season, even though they're 2-5, to have them believe that the season's not over. Mm-hmm. And whatever mechanism or technique they need to use, they have to make this team believe that they can play with this team they've got to play next week. But they got to understand, the team has to understand that their level of execution has got to be far and beyond how they played the Patriots, because these next 5 teams, they're all in pole position for the playoffs. All these teams, the Green Bays, the Eagles, Detroit Lions, the Minnesota Vikings, and the Texans. I mean, right now, these teams right now are like jockeying for position. Mm-hmm. They're trying to win games. They're trying to play at a playoff level. So this team has to understand that whatever they've done is not enough. Their execution, their team is not enough. Because I saw the speed of the Detroit and the Vikings and Green Bay. It's light years ahead of what we're playing like. So they got to understand that the intensity is going to be turned up, the execution has got to be turned up, and the overall physicality of how they play has to get turned up, or they're going to get smashed.
All right, make a case, Coach.
Well, one of the first things I would do after a win like that is I would take maybe the 4 or 5 best plays we made in the football game. Mm-hmm. You know, the long pass, the number 7, whatever it is. And then I'd take the 4 screw-ups or 5 screw-ups, and I'd make a tape, and I'd show both of those.
Right.
And I would say, this is what we're capable of, and this is what we cannot do in order to have a chance to beat a good football team. Like we said on the podcast, this coaching staff believed that this team was good enough athletically to play anybody in the league.
Right.
Okay? And because we were close against Miami and close against the Browns, there's no reason to believe that we can't be close against everybody.
Right.
So I would point out the good, I'd point out the bad, and I'd say, guys, don't count us out. Don't count us out. Don't count yourself out. We have to play a clean game to win this game, and we are capable of that. Here's a perfect example of it right here.
All right, let me ask you something. Is it out of the realm of the norm for Doug Peterson to stick his head in that defensive room and say, all right, I've got some suggestions? Because at some point, they've got to play better. Because if they don't, all the amount of wishing and hoping you can do is not going to get them to the point where they're going to be in the playoffs.
Right.
They've got to play better defensively. So does Doug Peterson do that? Does at some point, does he go in there and say, all right, I know how to stress defenses, so I'm going to come in and give you some suggestions.
Yeah, well, I think they have to. He has to do that. You know, one of the biggest mistakes I made in my head coaching career is that I didn't do that enough with the offense. You know, I pretty much felt that we had guys that were capable, but
trust and belief.
Yeah, you know, and you know, in my last year, I was much more vocal on what we were trying to do, and I think he needs to do that.
I want to follow up with that one part of it because what we were talking about before, effort on the player side. As much as I've bashed Ryan Nielsen, we have to give him credit for trying to make some decisions on the defensive side to, at the very least, make this team better.
Well, he made some player changes and who was where. And, you know, Savage playing safety, 26 off the field unless he was Johnson, unless he was in a dime situation. Jarian Jones at nickel. He alternated 30 into both corners. And I really think that next week, number 30 will start at one side and Tyson Campbell on the other. I think they're trying to get the best personnel on the field, which is what they have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now it comes down to, you know, making sure that we're not making mistakes, and we're making way too many defensive mistakes as far as coverage responsibilities. They had one, I showed Matt off the air, where the corner and the safety blitzed on the same side, and nobody covered the wideout. You know, I mean, you can't have stuff like that. That cannot happen if you're going to win.
Well, here's another thing, Coach, that I remember when I was in Jacksonville, when we were in a division that had pretty damn good defenses, Ravens, Steelers, and Titans. Yeah. And me and Baselli and the offensive line understood.
By the way, what a division that was.
It was
a great division.
My God. It was a great division.
Great division. It was like the NFC East when we first got in it.
Yes. Well, so me and Big Bo understood that the intensity level in practice had to be ramped up. All right? Yeah. We had to set the tone. Yeah. We had to set the tone because we knew it was going to be a bloodbath.
Right.
Yeah.
We knew if we played the Steelers, you played the Ravens, or you played the Titans, you were going to be in a fist fight. So we understood that in practice, everything had to be ramped up. Everything. The intensity, the effort, the execution, we had to be flawless against those type of teams or we were going to lose the fight. So techniques, fundamentals, getting after people, all that kind of stuff. I would tell the guy on the scout team, hey, this is what this guy does. I need this, I need that, I need spins, I need all that kind of stuff because you got to mentally prepare. I don't know if they have that now,
right?
But we understood back then in that division when you played those defenses that you were going to be in a fist fight.
Here's another thing I want to ask you, too, because you are a former defensive coordinator as well as a head coach, of course. The hockey line changes with this defense, especially the defensive line. Don't you have to, like, get in a little bit of a groove, almost like a running back? You got to get a little lathered up, and then you got to be able to force a little pressure on the other guy. Like, he doesn't know what's coming from you at some point. Like, why so many substitutions? And for guys that basically shouldn't even be on the field. Like, there's no reason for some of those guys to be on the field, actually, unless there's injuries.
Yeah, well, first of all, I think they're groping for some guys because we're not rushing the passer. So what do you do? First of all, I don't believe in substituting as much as they're doing. I will say that because, you know, I see a substitution on defense that guys are playing. They get a little bit tired, then you make a substitution, and not a wholesale substitution. You know, just one guy here, one guy there.
For one play.
Yeah, or one or two plays, whatever. But we're not rushing the passer. So all of a sudden now, a guy like Graziano, you know, he has some quickness.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, God bless him, honestly. God bless him. But there's no way he should be on the field.
Well, but they're groping. Who's showing that they should be on the field in the defensive line, play in and play out?
Yeah, but you're paying some guys to do their job, and a lot of money, actually.
Not just Gaziano, but Gaziano, Abdul, and Ledbetter, all the same
all
guy.
All three of them, yes.
Or Tyler Lacey, or whomever else. Yeah, I want to see.
I've seen all four of them on the field at the same time.
Yeah, and I'm. Wait a minute.
Well, that's just like a give-up is what that is, too.
Yeah. It screamed preseason to me.
Right.
And it was impossible
it's
to.
Too
like,
many.
That was against,
too many.
That was against Cleveland in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And so
the first quarter.
And I 100% agree. How are you going to be able to get going and get off if you don't get out there and take snap after snap, you are paid handsomely as a starter.
Plus, you're giving guys like Leon a playoff.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, like if you see a second teamer coming in.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to get you to name names, but one of the guys that we might have just mentioned, what would you do if you saw him lining up against you early in a game?
I'm licking my chops. Absolutely, I'm licking
play
my chops.
to exhale, baby.
Huh?
That's a little play
Oh,
to exhale.
absolutely.
So I just know that Josh Hines-Allen was paid handsomely in the offseason. He and Trayvon are right now the guys that are going to provide the most plays. We would all agree with that. Even though Josh Hines-Allen only has 2.5 sacks, we totally get that right now. But both of those guys can impact a game more than maybe a Yasir.
Okay, I acquiesce. I acquiesce to you guys.
I mean, one guy's getting paid as a first overall pick. The other guy's getting 170.
Yeah.
If you get tired, guess what? Deal with it if you're tired.
Yeah.
Go do your job.
Yeah. I do agree with that for sure.
That I'm not getting away from. All right. We will keep it going. I got to reveal the picks as far as where we are, college and pro, before Coach gets out of here. So we'll touch on a little college ball with our head coach coming up. Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota Tuesday. We got more big ball games coming up. We got our XLP to the CFP in the 3 o'clock hour.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Mia here for MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it in a year full of surprises. MyBookie is the one book that has your back. No fluff, no second guessing, just straight up action. Does your other sports book pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back. And if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we have you covered. Step 1, use our promo code 1010XL. That'll double your bankroll with a 100% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The NFL teams with powerhouse offensive lines are dominating the run game this year, and betting game total unders has been printing money. Stack that with MyBookie's risk-free Thursdays. Why wait? That's right there, a new risk-free odds boost each and every Thursday. To find the bet, click the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. If it hits, you win. If it doesn't, MyBookie refunds your money. Sign up now and get your double deposit bonus with promo code 1010XL. MyBookie, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. Bet anything, anytime, from anywhere with MyBookie.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Let's start the debate. Why would someone buy a new car from you? We have an exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on every new vehicle. We offer a competitive wow price plus free oil changes. How much will someone get for their trade? We offer more than $4,000 over KBV value. Well, we never lose a trade over price. Okay, when is the best time to buy a car? Right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter which side you pick. At Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet, you get it all. Let us show you why we're the winning vote.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione. Campione Law.
This is Tony Baselli, Pro Football Hall of Famer. I was known for protecting our quarterback. These days, I'm extending that protection to a different arena, your home. I have partnered with Heritage Roofing of North Florida, your premier local roofers with over 25 years of experience. Heritage is your go-to roofer for hurricane preparation, with same-day inspections and estimates. They also work with all insurance companies. Let Heritage Roofing of North Florida safeguard your home and family. Visit heritagenfl.com for your free estimate today.
State license CCC 1335410.
Ready to sharpen your aim or find the perfect firearm? Come to St. Nicholas Guns and Range for our White Tag sales event. Up to 20% off all White Tag firearms all October with a huge selection of guns, ammo, and gear, plus Jacksonville's best indoor range for every skill level. They've got what you need to hit your target. If you're a pro or just starting, their friendly experts will guide you at 4630 Blanding Boulevard or online at stnickguns.com. St. Nicholas Guns and Range, gear up, shoot a lot, shoot better.
Grab your lucky spot on the couch, because traditions make Sunday easy to enjoy. Bud Light, easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 22nd, 1975, the Cincinnati Reds win the World Series over the Boston Red Sox in Game 7. Red switch hitter Pete Rose is awarded MVP.
Thermal Engineers is hiring. Thermal Engineers is a commercial HVAC contractor serving North Florida for over 20 years. Qualified technicians and installers. How does top pay, 401k, and full benefits sound, and a signing bonus? Is it time for a positive change in your career? Join the family-oriented commercial HVAC contractor at Thermal Engineers. Call 230-1172 or go to Thermal Engineers, Inc., an equal opportunity employer.
When you're injured, you probably have more questions than answers, and all you really want is to feel better. This is Joe C., and I certainly can identify. Well, thanks to Rebound Rehab, I bounced back from a serious case of ankle tendonitis to feel pain-free, and they can do the same for you. 8 locations across the First Coast and a team of physical therapists ready to help. From laser and radio pressure wave therapy to aquatic and massage therapy, they can offer real solutions to help you rebound. Log on, reboundrehab.com, and start your path back to pain-free life.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Most goals we set for ourselves have a clear path, like I want to go to Montana and see the Northern Lights. So you read a couple books, read some reviews, talk to some friends, spend some money and book it, and maybe a couple choices along the way. But overall, it's a clear course to reach your goal. Now, if your goal is to lose 40 or 50 pounds, where's the clear path? You read reviews, you talk to a few friends, you try something out, and then it doesn't work, and you're disappointed, and we've all been there, and it blows. But stop trying that and do what I did. Reach your goal with Awaken 180 weight loss. It's the clear path to success without disappointment. No guesswork, no trial and error, no medication side effects. I'm proof. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180, and you can too. Trust me, it was simple. A word you never hear used with weight loss programs unless you're referring to Awaken 180. Choose the simple, clear path to success with a solution for weight loss. Awaken 180 weight loss at awaken180weightloss.com.
The Jaguars are back at Everbank Stadium to go head-to-head with the Green Bay Packers for our crucial catch game. Join us October 27th as we fight cancer through early detection, risk reduction, and awareness all game long. Lock in your tickets now by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you there.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The Jaguars have announced multiple roster moves this afternoon. Linebacker Foye Oluokun and safety Andrew Wingard have both been placed on the designated for return list and have opened up their 21-day practice window. Oluokun has been out since week 3 with an injured foot. Meanwhile, Wingard has been on injured reserve since August with a knee injury. Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson spoke about both players on Monday.
Both guys were in London with us. Both guys, rehabbed and worked out. But both guys are in a really good place.
The Jags also today released cornerback Trey Flowers. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line. Hello. We can wiggle it.
It's always a pleasure to say hello to this guy, and it's not just because he's got the gold jacket, Hall of Famer, and all that stuff. It's just because he's Leroy Butler, he of Jacksonville, and back in Jacksonville as Green Bay is getting ready to suit up against your Jaguars on Sunday. You will be in town on Friday. Welcome in, Leroy. How are you?
I'm doing good. I love being on with you guys. You know that.
Well, we appreciate it. That's for sure. You got some special events that are coming up that we want to tell everybody about. But we've been trying to break it down, okay? Jacksonville has been suffering a little bit, Leroy, throughout the course of this season. First to 5 L's, last to get a win. They beat up on a pretty bad New England team, and now they get to see your Green Bay Packers. How good is Green Bay in your mind right now?
I think if you look at the film, you see one thing, and if you see the eye test, you may see another. Of course, you see them 5-2, but they really struggled down the stretch with the Texans, a team that was a playoff team last year. But for some reason, Jordan Love has been turning the ball over. He leads the league in touchdowns up until last night. I think Baker got 3 and Lamar had 10,000, it seemed like. But he also leads the league in interceptions. So they got to get back to the running game and get back to where I think this may be the first or second game the defense did not have a turnover. And normally when you're -3 in turnover takeaway, you lose those games. But they were able to win by bringing in a kicker, McManus, that I'm sure Jaguar people are familiar with, a walk-off. And we were so happy because he's our 3rd kicker this year, so we were excited.
Leroy, it's Florida State week, and I just want to tell you this. I'm taking no pleasure.
Don't talk about Miami.
I'm taking no pleasure in the fact that we're playing y'all this week, and y'all are down. Listen, I'm not getting any pleasure in playing Florida State when they're down. I always like to play y'all when both teams are at their best. What's the deal? What's going on there in Tallytown?
First of all, Leon, I love you, my brother. You're one of my favorites. It's been the tale of 2 universities, though. Let's be honest. I mean, and a few years ago, Miami was a team that was struggling to kind of find itself, and Florida State was up, and then all of a sudden, just the reciprocal has happened. Miami is one of the top teams. If I had a vote, I'd vote them in the top 2. I love their quarterback. And with, Florida State right now, obviously not bowl eligible, but it's about, the portal and recruiting. If you can't recruit the kids you want to get and run your system, it's going to be a little pushback. But, the good thing about it, they do have some good recruits coming in the future. But when you're the fan base and you're the kids that go to school there, they're used to seeing success. They're not seeing you lose to the Georgia Techs of the world. I mean, they're not used to seeing losing to Duke, after 22 straight wins. So they got to kind of go back to the drawing board and figure it out. And I mean figure it out quick, because this year was just dismal.
So how do you figure it out so quick, Leroy? I mean, you played for that school. You know the tradition. You know the expectations there to play at Florida State. You're talking about a team that's 1-6, looking at 1-7, and it doesn't look good on the field either. It just doesn't look like a operational situation where you're like, all right, that looks like at least they know what they're doing.
And it doesn't feel good either. And I think when I say feel good, that means you got somebody up and coming that you can say, okay, DJ, a veteran quarterback, didn't work out for us, but we got X, Y, and Z coming.
Right.
And that can change now at any time with the portal or things of that nature, because you got to look at your team and say, listen, how close are we away from being into the expanded playoff? Now it's expanded. It was not before. It was a few teams. But now you got so many teams that can get in. 2 losses can get in. So in the future, you got to get a quarterback first. It's just like the NFL, and Leon knows this. Quarterback, left tackle, edge rusher. Everybody else, get in where you fit in, because you only got to win 10 or 11 games, and you're in the playoffs. So it's got to be kind of a reset. And the good thing about it is Norvell, as I know him, just like I won a Super Bowl with Doug Peterson, when you have a team and you see the names, but that don't equate to wins, you know you're going to get some pushback from the media and the fan base, but you got to be okay to handle that. You can't always want to speak to the media when you win games. You got to speak to the media more when you're losing games and tell them how you lost and what the future looks like. Because it's going to always be seniors, but the juniors and sophomores and freshmen, they're like, okay, well, what's the direction? So Norvell, who I'm a big fan of, he got to get his kids in there that he wants, and the school is going to work with him to make sure he get the guys that he wants.
Leroy, this is Dave Campo. First of all, congratulations.
Campo!
Congratulations on the Hall of Fame. I've got one that's a little bit off.
Stop you for a minute.
Listen.
Stop you for a minute.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Now, I hate to say this because you're a Cowboy coach, but the father, this is for everybody in Jacksonville, because they may not know this if I can't coach. The father of the Bach coach defense was Coach Campo and one set. They never get the headlines. When guys could just run 4 guys down the field, they came up with a beautiful system. So I just want to say, Coach, to give you your flowers, because you were one of these guys who would sit in the room and say, you know what, I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I do have something that can fix it. And that's the reason why I think Darren Woodson should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I just want to say that, but go ahead and continue, Coach.
Well, listen, you just answered my question because you are one of my favorite players, and my second favorite player was Darren Woodson, and you're both very much alike. And my question to you was going to be, do you think he belongs in the Hall of Fame?
Yes. Yes, because you shouldn't get punished because you play with great players. You shouldn't get punished because both of my parents raised me. You should get punished if I was on a team that won Super Bowls. Punish me if I was a bad player. Darren Woodson not only one of the smartest players because he had great coaching, but he could do everything. I mean, it seems like the safety position is something, because I waited 16 years, and in is in, I get it. But sometimes when safeties start to get in, I know what Woodson is thinking. I know what he's thinking, that I'm better than some of those guys, and I have the hardware. But I always tell him this. His time is coming rapidly because there was 3 teams that dominated in the 90s. San Francisco, Green Bay, and Dallas.
Right.
And Woodson was on those teams. So he definitely will get in really, really soon.
Well, I'll tell you this for sure. The thing I love the best about both of you guys is not on the field. It's the character off the field. And I can guarantee you that you're one of my favorites for sure.
Take that as an opportunity, Leroy, to talk about your telethon and everything that you do have coming up when you make it into town.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joe. I just appreciate coming on here because you guys at 1010XL, y'all care about the people. Without the listeners, we're nobody. Without the fans, we're nobody. We love them. So I've been working with changing homelessness for the last 2 or 3 years. We want to try to help people get housing, affordable housing, jobs, and just put them back on their feet. And I think we're going to do a telethon this Friday. You'll be able to call in. Just go to changinghomelessness.org, and you can help somebody. The real heroes aren't me and some other guys who are playing in the NFL. It's the heroes are when you help people who you don't know. And at some point, it's going to be against the law. They'll put people in jail because they're homeless, especially when hurricanes just came through, more displaced people. So we're going to raise money for that. And on Saturday from 12 to 3, I'll be at the Culvers on 101 Monument Road. And because they're going to have a lot of Packer fans in town. And we eat custard year-round. In the cold weather, I know y'all in Florida, it gets 50, y'all freezing down there. But we eat custard when it's minus 10. So Culver's got the best custard. So you can swing by, get some great custard and food, and get a free autograph from 12 to 3.
So, Leroy, what's the easiest way for them to get involved and contribute to it?
Great question. The best way to do it is go to changinghomelessness.org, and they got everything you need to know. You can put your pledge, your credit card, your debit card, tell them to take $5, $10 a month or whatever, or you can just call in and pledge this Friday and say, all I have is a few dollars to help somebody I do not know. Because I was one of those kids that used to pray. I'm from Duval County, Blodgett home. Pray that some stranger would give money so I can have food. So I get it. I understand that one paycheck away, you're staying with a relative. And next thing you know, a hurricane comes, and we're all looking for shelter, but the shelters they're packed, and we go somewhere under a bridge to get out of the rain, and the police will pull up and put us all in jail because of no fault of our own. We want to prevent that. But I think homelessness is nonpartisan. We should all help each other, and we should all love each other. But sometimes it doesn't happen that way, but I don't wait for somebody else. I do it myself, and I just appreciate being on these kind of platforms to be able to talk about it.
Well, we certainly know that you, whatever you say, you put yourself out there and you try and help as many people as you possibly can, touch them in any way possible. And we'll definitely make sure we get the info and pass it on, especially when you touch down and you get here on Friday. All right, real quick, Leroy, you had a pick against the Canes in your senior year back in the day. So how big was this rivalry in your mind? I know we don't have as many, say, homegrown stars on both sides of this rivalry, but what's your best memory?
I tell you what, I remember when Chief Osceola came out and he's on the horse and he has the spears going put in the ground, and we got it's lit with fire. And the Miami Hurricanes, not Leon, but Leon is a classic guy. He don't do that. They were trying to prevent our horse from coming out. I'm like, what are you guys doing? And the first play, Gino Torretta. I hope I said his name right, but Heisman Trophy winner. First play, I picked it off. Next play, Dexter Carter scored. The student section, they had to stop the game. The student section went crazy. They went crazy. It's Miami. And you don't think every time Micah Irvin caught a 3-yard curl route, he'll get up going first down? I'm like, no, dude, you got 7 more yards to go. It don't matter, Roy Lee. This Miami FSU. I love it. I tell you what, if they upset Miami, wait, let me get through first, Leon. If they upset Miami, the blaze won't be gone, but the temperature will come down. It's still going to be a fire. But you beat Miami. And that's how you sell it to your kids. We got a chance as long as we strap up. But it is what it is. Because that quarterback they got is amazing. I want to see his birth certificate. I don't know if he's eligible. I'm trying to get him out. You remember Celtic Pride? You know how they go capture the top guy and keep him till after the game?
Yeah.
Well, how can we find a quarterback coach? Allegedly. We're on live radio. Never mind.
Yeah, if y'all beat Miami, it'd be a Disney film. How about that?
Yeah, I agree. But I've seen stranger things that happen.
Okay. Well, my favorite memory of Florida State Miami is missed it to the right.
Hey, my phone was breaking up. Did Leon say something?
All right, listen, man. We love you. We appreciate it.
We love you, Leroy.
And make sure you check him out. Too, and so you at Leap36, and we'll make sure that we get the information with the website and everything that will be going on. But we'll pass on the word with your appearance and then the radiothon from noon to 3 on Friday.
And y'all leave Doug Peterson alone and let him grow.
Yeah,
let him grow.
But
let him grow.
All right, real quick, because you played with him. He was a teammate. Right. He's definitely facing his challenges. There were even reports out there, Leroy, and you know how this goes on social media. He's lost the locker room. How do you think he will rebound, especially with the stretch of games?
He got to call the plays.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it. Just that simple.
I'd be all right.
You got to call the plays. Call the plays and get the rhythm going. That's it. He ain't gonna never lose the locker room. You know why? He's close to their age, and he understands the kids.
Is there
and the grown men on the team?
Is there
he's never going to lose the locker room.
Is there such a thing, Leroy, as him being tougher? Is there even anything to that?
It's baked in the cake. You can't be something you're not.
Right.
I'm not a tough guy. So if I go in there trying to be tough, the guy's going to lose respect for me. Be yourself. You do have to allow your coaches to coach, but more often, if you ever called plays and give it to somebody and you don't get the success, you're more than likely want to get it back. And I think that'll be something new. It'll be something new if they'll go back to calling the plays. And the GM has to also work with him, though, as far as what kind of kids. Because that wide receiver they got for LSU, Thomas Jr., Walker, that big 6'4" guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good pick. That's Jimmy Smith Jr. right there. Yeah. He should get 27 targets.
He looks good. He really, really does.
Listen. He look good at running back too, so they're gonna be all right.
Yeah, I wish we had more time.
We're gonna beat them 34-20, but they're gonna be all right.
Oh, he's got a dub. He's got a dub for Green Bay. All right, listen. Let us know if you hang around. We wish we had more time. We'd love for you to drop by anytime. Thank you, buddy.
Guys.
All right,
Love
man.
You guys.
Thanks.
That's awesome. And Athlete 36, make sure you check it out. And we'll make sure we pass on the word as far as his events that are coming up. We will turn Coach loose. Enjoyed it, as always. Coach, thank you for hanging out with us. We head into the 3 o'clock hour.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. A sturdy defense keeps your end zone safe like a superior fence keeps your family and pets safe.
It's fantastic.
After the game, catch the superior fence and rail defensive player of the game.
What a baller.
On 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Expert Automotive on St. John's Bluff Road has some of the highest Google reviews in Jax for a reason. Expert Auto never sells greed, only what you need. All makes and models are serviced at Expert Automotive. This month, get an alignment inspection for only $19.99. Expert Auto does major engine and transmission repair and simple maintenance. All services done at Expert Auto by our ASC certified training technicians. Call today, 374-3373, and ask about $50 off any service. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. I've been playing and winning with Prize Picks, and you should too. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 5 million active members. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch your winnings roll in. Think Brian Thomas Jr. will get more than 80.5 yards, or Jahmyr Gibbs will rush for more than 70.5, or Justin Herbert will throw for more yards than who knows? It's just that simple. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money as quickly as 15 minutes. Now, here's the best part. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy. That means your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code JAX, J-A-X, and get $50 instantly when you play 5. It's all there, Prize Picks. Run your game.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Clean air, cool air, both are extremely important. Trust Florida Home AC to deliver on both with their Remy Halo, the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and breathe clean and cool air.
It's the Gator Podcast Channel with Frank Frangie and me, Dan Hicken, on all things Gators. Hacker and Denny Thompson have Gator Bites, and you can find them wherever you find podcasts or at 1010XL.com. Presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here. You've heard me talking about Pella Windows and Doors, and with great ratings and expert reviews, you know they're high quality and energy efficient products. So what's your next step? How about scheduling a free consultation or just stop by the Pella showroom right there on Phillips Highway next to Tesla? Pella's professional consultants will guide you through your entire project from start to finish. From simple projects to complex renovations, their team has the experience needed to make your project a success. And that's the quality and service you can expect from Pella Windows and Doors.
Hello, I'm Malcolm Anthony. I've been practicing criminal defense law for over 40 years. It's what I love to do, it's what I do well. Stay out of trouble, but if you don't, call me, Malcolm Anthony, at 2854-LAW. 2854-LAW for Malcolm Anthony.
Now, it's time to showcase the Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game. Live generously and life will treat you royally.
Parker Washington was spectacular for the Teal and Black in London. The Jacksonville return man returned one kick for 27 yards and a punt for 96, which would result in a touchdown. Number 11 showed why he was number 1 in the return game, and he's your Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 5-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now graduate making over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or no student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by November 7th.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. Brought to you by the YMCA. This Saturday, the biggest ACC rivalry takes place down south in Miami as the FSU Seminoles take on the Miami Hurricanes. The Hurricanes remain undefeated this season, coming in at 19.5-point favorites, with the Noles struggling to get their feet under them. Noles head coach Mike Norvell talked on the importance of the big matchup.
Obviously, this is a huge week for our football program. I mean, this game is a game that we have an emphasis on, 365 days a year. We're fortunate to be at a place that we get 2 rivalry games, every single year that mean a ton to our football program, our fan base, university, and for those 2 weeks, I mean, it's a year-long process to put yourself in the best position for when this week shows up that you can go play your best.
Noles and Hurricanes kick off in the Hard Rock Stadium 7 o'clock Saturday night. It's 79 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
Well, we just had some royalty on the air between a Hurricane Hall of Famer, a Super Bowl winning coach, and a gold jacket wearing from Jacksonville, Leroy Butler. That's some rare hair, Matty. That's a pretty good group to listen to them chop it up. And one thing that was pretty cool was listening to Leroy talk about how Michael Irvin called him Roy Lee and all the back and forth that was going on because everybody was familiar with everybody back then. Mm-hmm. This is something that we're losing a little bit with the transfer portal and everything. I kind of missed that part of it.
Yeah, I do too, because most of the guys that played against Miami and Florida State played against each other in high school or grew up in the same neighborhood to each other. So they knew each other's tendencies, knew where mama and them lived, where Big Mama house was, all that kind of stuff. So, that was pretty cool to know that you had guys on teams that you were playing up against that were in your neighborhood.
You're losing a little of the regional aspect of it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Doubt. Even with Florida and Florida State, too. And with Miami and Florida when they played earlier as well.
Absolutely. It's very obvious. It stinks. It's just the way it is. But I'd love to have some of those homegrown guys. Heck, Florida has come into North Florida and gotten some good guys, but they haven't necessarily risen to the top. You'd love to see Trayon Webb and Marcus Stokes and all these guys step up and be playmakers, but right now they're just coming from everywhere. That's just the way it works. All right, XLP to the CFP. Fire it up, RJ.
Time to drop some college knowledge on XL Primetime. Brought to you by Modelo, the official beer of the College Football Playoff.
So we've got so many storylines to dig into, and that's going to take you a few Modelos as you get ready for the College Football Playoff, the official beer of the College Football Playoff. We say thanks to them. Don't forget, check out Modelo Oro whenever you are out and about. You have got a lot of storylines going into, all right, I don't know how to tell you guys this, but 8 weeks have passed us by in the college football world. I know you guys know that, but it
Why would you say that? That's like
that's
depressing already.
We are running out of games. The third Saturday in October is in the books. We had so much that came out of it. We've got.
Why he's got to do that like that?
We even got.
You're breaking my heart, Joe.
We even got Kirby Smart screaming, "Nobody believed in us." Okay, this is how deep we are into this football season. Couple of storylines that we will fill up our XLP to the CFP with. We hand out our top 12, and then we're going to start talking about some of the oldies. Those are the outside looking in teams, which I know you always like to list one to start. So let's hit it from 12 to 9.
12 to 9. Well, listen, I told Matt Hayes on Monday that I had to put this team in after I saw them demolish Nebraska. It's bad. Indiana's, they were fun to watch. Now, you told me that the quarterback tore his thumb.
Curtis Work. He's got like a little thumb injury. Tore his fingernail off his thumb.
Yeah. He's going to be out.
Yeah, he's going to be out.
Oh, that's terrible. He's listed as questionable this week, but more than likely he's going to be out.
Okay, well, I had to scratch him, so I had to go with Boise State at 12. Boise State's my number 12. Standing in my top 12, you made me a believer, Joe Cowart. Iowa State is still in there at number 11. My number 10 team is the Clemson Tigers. My number 9 team going into Hogtown and winning a game is not easy. Yeah. LSU is my number 9 team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I tell you what, it's interesting when you start looking at all the possibilities. 12 to 9, because it's not. We've had some mix-up, or not mix-up, but movement.
A little movement. I got Boise State at 12. Look, I think this needs to be said over and over. Number 1 team in the country right now, Oregon, needed a kickoff return for a touchdown, a punt return for a touchdown, and a last-second field goal to beat Boise at home. Boise State's a good team. As long as they win, they're in. It's not even a question. I got Indiana 11. Let me just throw you real quick some Indiana numbers, okay? Mm-hmm. In the nation, national rankings, Indiana, 1st in the nation scoring offense, 7th in scoring defense, 5th in the nation in total offense, 7th in total defense, 3rd in the nation in long scrimmage plays, 9th in opponent long scrimmage plays. This is a good team.
It is.
This is a good team. I don't care what schedule you say they haven't played anybody. It's a good team.
Which I will bring up.
I know you will. It's a good team.
Didn't you say about a month ago that's who Florida should go after?
Yeah, if you can't get Kiffin, Kirk Cignetti's definitely a guy. But at this point, if he gets them to the playoff, he's not going anywhere. They'll pay him whatever he wants.
He's in his early 60s, so.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
He's in his 40s. Kurt Cignetti. You're thinking of his dad.
Well, maybe that's what it is.
Right.
But I'm just taking a look at the old man. Okay. All right, go ahead.
You're thinking of Frank, his dad. Anyway, on that note, I got K-State at 10. And I've got LSU at 9. Big game in the SEC. 2 unbeatens. The 2 unbeatens in the 4th week of October are LSU and Texas A&M. Who thought that would happen?
Yeah.
That's a big game for LSU, who has really started to play a lot better defensively. And Texas A&M, this is kind of put up or shut up for them, man. Mm-hmm. What do you got? Let's see what you got, man. Because every year we see this with A&M. Oh, no, this is year. No, this is year. Well, now you got LSU at home. Now you've got a chance to go into November. November is the only unbeaten team in the SEC.
Yeah, I don't even remember a time when A&M had this much hope this late in the year in the Jimbo era. I really don't. Maybe one good year, but with A&M and LSU as the only 2 without a conference loss. You are correct. That's going to be big. All right, so right now the Olies on the outside include the Indiana Hoosiers. I'm keeping them outside just a little bit longer. They haven't beaten any ranked opponents. The only teams that they've been successful against, at least at the time, looked pretty good were Maryland and Nebraska with winning records. Nobody else does.
Don't you throw Clemson in there, because if you do, I'm going to come back at you hard, okay?
I am. But look, it's my eyes. I don't care. All right, number 12, elimination game Friday night. Boise gets the nod for now, but they've got UNLV. That is a big, big ball game. Whoever wins that game is going to stay in the driver's seat. We're talking the Mountain West is up for grabs. So I've got Boise State 12. I've got Clemson 11. Okay? I've got Klubnik clicking at the right time, beating up on Virginia inside the conference. They still managed to throw for 308 yards and 3 scores.
Let me just slide this in there real quick for you, okay? Since they got annihilated by Georgia, which basically everyone does other than Alabama. Right. Clemson's the combined record of their opponents, 16-26.
Yeah, not impressive. Not impressive, but they scored over 40 points, 5 times in that little run. Yeah. And so they definitely have gotten it done. And this does come down to Indiana's on the outside looking in, Clemson's inside, just based on, I guess, maybe brand more than anything else for me, but they are playing at a pretty good level. And I just try and visualize who I think would win in that particular ball game in a neutral field. I would pick Clemson. I don't know by how much, but I would pick them. Number 10, LSU. They've won 6 in a row, taking care of Arkansas big time, 34-10. BYU unbeaten, and you know that's my second of the Big 12 teams, Search, because I'm not putting ahead of Iowa State, at least not yet. So that's where I got them 8-5.
8-5, all right. 8-5. They played in the Cigar Bowl. They came out on top. Tennessee's my number 18.
Yeah, they did.
Yes, number 17, Little Humble Pie. Texas Longhorns. They went to the SEC house. They got thrown right out that baby. So I got them at 7.
Welcome to the league.
Welcome to the league. Number 6, I got Ohio State. And number 5, I've got the Nittany Lions.
All right, let me just give you this Iowa State schedule real quick before we go to my 8-5.
Get off of my Cyclones,
North
man.
Dakota State, Iowa, Arkansas State, Houston, Baylor, West Virginia, UCF. Should have lost to UCF.
I know. UCF got absolutely hosed in that game. But at the same time, Iowa State was my pick early, so I ain't giving up on them. But they do have – BYU has, at the very least right now, a couple of SIG wins that they can hang their hat on. And they won't see each other.
Got the K-State win, which is as big as anything. Bigger than anything in the Big 12.
It's the Kansas State win. It's rolling the other ones, and BYU and Iowa State don't play each other, and they could meet in the Big 12 title game, so we'll see.
And it's not only a win. They beat the dog out of Kansas State.
They did.
That was an impressive game. All right, my number 8 is Tennessee. Back into the thick of it all. Can still win the SEC. Yep. Absolutely can. Still have to play at Georgia. Their playoff run could come down to who looks better in a loss to Georgia, Texas or Tennessee. What it really might come down to. I got Penn State at 7. Just like Penn State and Texas are the same team. They're both like relying on a win over a blue blood / former blue blood that's really not any good. Penn State beat USC, who's lost 4 times now. Texas beat Michigan, and the best thing I can say about that is Illinois just beat Michigan, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I got Penn State at 7. I got Texas at 6, and I'm really iffy on Texas because we'll see.
Yeah.
By the way, Texas we are now into week 4 of October.
And they have
not played a true road game in the SEC.
It is. Greg Sankey just blew him a big old kiss.
It's unreal. They play
a kiss
at
as
Vandy.
big as the Lone Star State.
At Vandy this weekend. What if Vandy wins that game and has wins over Alabama and Texas at home? That would be just brilliant. And I got the Buckeyes at number 5. Get a little tune-up against Nebraska before having to travel to Penn State next week in that big game in Happy Valley.
All right, mine are just a little mixed up from Matt's, but they're the exact same order as Big Sur's. And look, you can come up with any type of argument you want. The Volunteers have it in front of them. I have them 8th right now. They did what they needed to do to beat Alabama. They created more questions for Alabama and Kalen DeBoer. They got Kentucky and Mississippi State, and then that big game mid-November against Georgia. Texas, look, Uga, he bit back this time. Bevo wasn't going to try and gore him this time. They definitely embarrassed Texas. And look, I was one of the buyers when it came to the Longhorn stock. I had them all the way at the top or second in the country, I think, this last rankings that I had. So I'm dropping them to 7. They got no problem with it because who have they beaten when you consider the teams that they're victorious over, Oklahoma and Michigan? It doesn't mean much right now. Ohio State is 6th because at the very least Ohio State lost to a very good Oregon team on their ball field right down to the wire, as opposed to Texas getting mollywopped by Georgia the way they did. Penn State is unbeaten, so that's why I'm putting them 5th. They've got games against Wisconsin and Ohio State coming up. 4-1.
All right, 4-1. Number 4, I got BYU at number 4. Number 3, I got my Miami Hurricanes. Got to do something about that defense, bro.
Yeah.
Cam Ward, I mean, can't keep scoring points like that. 50 points. Defense got to be able to stop somebody. My number 2 team is Oregon. My number 1 team is Georgia. The Bulldogs.
Yeah, hard to argue.
First of all, anytime you say mollywop, I'm all for it. All right? So mollywop is a good thing. My number 4 is BYU, but this is a dangerous spot for them this week.
Yeah.
Dangerous, because you now have a desperate UCF team that's kind of teetering a little bit. Should have won. Should have beaten Iowa State and kind of let that game get away. If they're going to show like who and what they are under Gus, they're going to show a little intestinal fortitude, a little want, Joe, a little will. They're going to step up and win that game. They're going to beat BYU.
Get back on the bus, Gus. He's the one who needs to get them going.
So I got the Cougs at 4. I, of course, have the Canes at 3. The only drama left in that entire schedule is how badly they beat Florida State, because there's nothing else left in that schedule. Well, it'll be 12-0, and then they're going to play a Clemson team that, I mean, quite frankly, we still don't know what Clemson is.
We don't. And look, I'm not going to sit there.
Miami may not get their first test until they play in the second round of the playoff.
Very, very possible. And I'm not loving on Clemson a ton, but I'm just saying they are at least starting to crest up, head in the right direction.
A little bit, but no offense, bro. Y'all might get wide awake in that second round of playoff. That's all I'm saying.
Not worried.
All right, 4-1.
All right, hang on, 2. Yeah. My 2 is Oregon. I want to talk to you about Oregon. I mean, Dylan Gabriel's playing really well. He's the better he plays, the higher percentage of chance he's going to win. He's going to win the Heisman, just because he's got the name and he's got Oregon. And unless Genty does the unthinkable and breaks the record, then it's his.
And just the fact that Carson Beck is wobbling just a little bit. Some of the other guys, Jalen Milroe, that you might have thought would step up.
Yeah, and then of course Georgia. Yeah. Number 1, they're just back in that little comfortable seat of theirs, basically saying, "Come get it." Who wants it, come get it.
It's so funny because we can all argue about the best Big Ten or the best SEC team. They're going to be either outside the top 4 1 week or back into that number 1 spot, basically. I moved Miami up. I moved Iowa State back. I got the Cyclones 4th because, yes, they won, but, it was right down to the flipping wire against my Knights, and they will face BYU maybe in a championship setting later. And then we've got the Canes, number 3, 3 consecutive 1-possession wins for the Hurricanes. 3 straight. Okay, so you're right. That defense, you need to dial something up on that side of the ball. That's for sure.
Tighten up, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
And then
I agree.
When you think about what Georgia's been able to do, they went from, wait a minute, what is happening with them? And you had doubters everywhere as far as the Dogs were concerned. And then Kirby just said, y'all, doubted us.
Right, but how do you not think about this? How do we not doubt? Like, how did they lose to Alabama?
Well,
how does that even happen?
How did they let Mississippi State throw for all those yards? Okay, and then what they did
Right, but Alabama's different because Alabama, they were up for that game. That was a big game.
Yeah, I agree. So I've got Georgia as number 2 with a 1 loss. They're still number 2. They did go on the road and pick off the Longhorns.
Georgia still at 2?
Yeah, and Oregon still at 1. Just because,
who wins that game? Oregon and Georgia.
I'd take Georgia. But I tell you one thing that Dan Lanning has done is he's made you think about it a little bit. That's for sure.
Actually, I think, you know what? I think Georgia, Michael Williams is back now, which really helps.
Right, but
Jalen Walker is their great edge. Williams is just as good, and now they have one guy on each side, and you're in trouble.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that Dylan Gabriel couldn't just get absolutely crushed and crucified by the Dogs, but Carson is not playing as well as Dylan Gabriel is right now. And so you could at least argue that point just a little bit. So there you go. I decided to put them in that order. Our XLP to the CFP, thanks to Modelo, the official beer of your college football playoff. It is XL Primetime.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Duval! That's right, I'm Tommy Mack, and it's all about Duval and defense. Offense, special teams, baby. Check me out every Friday from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, Garber wiggle.
At Garber Auto Mall, we can wiggle it. Best price, we can wiggle it. Best trade value, we can wiggle it. Best payment, we can wiggle it. Ford, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, with 8 American brands, we can wiggle it. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or online at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber
Injured in an accident? Have mounting medical bills? Can't work? Don't worry. Zach's got your back. I'm Zach Von Rowan of Von Rowan Law. I will fight for the compensation that you deserve. Set up your free consultation at zachsgotyourback.com.
Are spooky plumbing problems haunting your home this Halloween? Don't be scared. Call Duck Duck Rooter, your ghost-busting plumbing heroes.
Hi there, I'm Brian, your friendly plumber. Is your toilet making ghostly groans? Or is your sink dripping like a vampire's fangs?
Don't let plumbing problems give you the heebie-jeebies. Call Duck Duck Rooter at 904-862-6769 and chase those spooky issues away.
Duck Duck Rooter, because even plumbing nightmares deserve a happy ending. Quacktastic service guaranteed.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hayes Carline from MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it in a year full of surprises. MyBookie is the one book that's got your back. No fluff, no second guessing, just straight up action. Does your other sports book pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back. And if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we've got you covered. Step up, use our promo code 1010XL, and that'll double your bankroll with 100% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The NFL teams with powerhouse offensive lines are dominating the run game this year, and betting game total unders has been printing money. Stack that with MyBookie's risk-free Thursdays, so why wait? There's a new risk-free odds boost every Thursday. To find the bet, click on the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. If it hits, you win. If it doesn't, MyBookie refunds your money. Sign up now, get your double deposit bonus with promo code 1010XL, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
I'm Frank Frangie for Ricketts Electric. Hurricane season is here, and now's the time to think about a home generator. My friends at Ricketts Electric can make sure your home always has power. They can install the perfect generator for your home and are even offering a 10% discount this month if you mention 1010XL. So call my friend Zach Ricketts today at 904-320-5960 or find them on Facebook. That's Ricketts Electric, the city's best power connection. Call them at 320-5960.
1010XL celebrates high scorers.
1010XL and Southeast Orthopedic Specialists celebrate scholar athletes.
In class and on the court.
Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234. Wednesdays on The Frangie Show.
Find your why with membership at the First Coast YMCA. The Y has something for everyone at any age. Come try free access to your local Y every Wellness Wednesday this month. Check out our fitness classes, swimming, pickleball, youth sports, and so much more for free every Wednesday in October. Plus, we'll waive the join fee when you become a member this month. Get active, be social, live healthier, and discover all the benefits of YMCA membership at your local Y or visit fcymca.org.
I-9 Sports covers the First Coast with great sports for kids 3 to 17, and winter and spring registration is open right now. New girls volleyball and flag at Duval Charter, plus plenty for boys and girls in Nocatee, too. It's all at i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
Joint replacement surgery is always a tough decision, but relief from chronic pain may be just around the corner. Dr. George Barra here, and there's a lot to consider to make sure you get the proper diagnosis and best path back to the range of motion and mobility you had. Age, lifestyle, and overall health all play a part. Let the team at Barra Orthopedics give you a full analysis to help you make the best decision. Log on to barriorthopedics.com or call the office to make an appointment. With offices across Jacksonville and ready to help you feel good again, we'll get you back on the road to recovery at Barra Orthopedics.
How hot is the surface of the sun? The answer next.
Does your homeowner's insurance company contact you before, during, or after a big storm? If not, then it's time for you to contact Southern Oak Insurance. Find us online at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The average temperature of the surface of the sun? About 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe. I want to talk to you about picking the right battles to fight in this life. Every day, we have opportunities to get upset and angry. But I want you to realize that sometimes you have to ignore in this life so that you can soar into the kingdom of heaven. My encouragement, friends, to you is to pick the right battles to fight. Fight only battles that help you draw closer to God, because you have to ignore so that you can soar.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Hey, David, tell us a little bit about Royal Pest Services.
Well, Chris, I was raised in a middle-class family, and bugs have legs. And these bugs...
Whoa. David, just tell us about Royal Pest Services.
Just go to royalpetservices.com.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Oh, the reaction on the text line when we lay out our XLP to the CFP. There's rip jobs taking place on some of our rankings.
By the way, Signetti is 63. His brother is Frank Jr., who's in his 50s, and his father, Frank Sr., passed away a few years ago.
Like I said, he's a young-looking cat.
He looks very young,
And Danny Hickens said, as he walked through the halls, superstar that he is, he said
with his sunglasses on inside.
Yeah, that's how he is. He's like
the mirrored sunglasses too.
His future's so bright, he's got to wear shades. He's straight Huey Lewis right now. But he's like, even he had to Google him just to make sure about a month ago. Find out exactly where the age was and whether it was acceptable or not to maybe chase a 60-year-old as a Gator.
They're already giving up on Kiffin.
I know.
Well, I think the narrative in Gator Nation was it started out with if we don't get Lane ... who we gonna get? I think that's kind of how it went. All right, so a lot of reaction on the text line, as you might imagine. And so it did bring us to the conversation, which is worth right now setting it up as the best one-loss team. Because, by the way, both of you guys put a one-loss team ahead of an unbeaten team in our XLP to the CFP. So fire it up, RJ.
Here comes the judge.
Order in the court.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
So it's very simple. Here comes the judge. I asked two of my co-stars. One's a defendant taking up one side. The other one is trying to argue against. And we say, thanks to Campione Law, if you ever find yourself in front of the judge, you need a local law office to take care of you. CampioneLawPA.com. Chris Campione and his entire crew. Local. And they will make sure they take care of you if you have to deal with any legal concerns. So I'm asking each one of you, name the team that you're selecting as the best one-loss team that's out there.
Wait,
Please.
before we go any further, this does not include Georgia, correct?
Yeah, it does not name Georgia.
No problem.
Okay.
Not name Georgia.
There's no Georgia.
We just had 2 of 3 put them at the top of the XLP. So named UGA.
Not named UGA.
You are selecting.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna ramp it up.
Okay.
All right. Okay. This guy is an adopted Cajun by way of Massachusetts, by way of South Bend. Nowadays, he enjoys bowls of etouffee. All right? Ever since he banged his hand on the table, this team has won 6 in a row. And let me reel off who they beaten. They beat South Carolina. They beat Ole Miss. And they went in Hogtown and won. So my team, with best one-loss team, is the Bayou Bengals.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
It's hard to argue.
LSU.
And I think maybe one of the reasons why Big Searcy might be leaning, and again, this is just me, I'm wearing the judge's robe right now, I'm ruling on this bad boy, is that we might have been trying to sniff out an upset this past week. Did not happen. They ended up taking care of business rather handily against Sammy Pittman.
I actually think that was a better win than the Ole Miss win because you're going on the road, you're playing a desperate team, a team that's got a little confidence in the way they're playing, and they just dismantled them.
And doing it after that emotional win.
Yeah.
Okay, so
you
have
dismantled them.
You have put LSU up as your best one-loss team in America, not like Georgia.
I like that because they've done it week after week, and they've played some important games, and they've shown it in important games.
All right, Matt, I want you to argue your case.
My one-loss team was LSU, by the way, but now I got to move. So
I got to pivot.
My one-loss team is, and I'm just going to have to go based on talent. I mean, talent but for Dan Lanning cheating, because he did cheat. There's no doubt about that. He cheated by throwing the 12th man on the field
Genius.
It was genius. It was absolutely genius.
If not lame.
It was so genius that the NCAA literally 5 days later had to make a rule against it. Effective now. Not effective next year, but effective now.
And by the way, the NCAA never moves that fast, ever.
No, they don't.
All right, Counselor, make your point.
I mean, Ohio State is. I think if you watch the Ohio State-Oregon game, Ohio State is a just uber talented team, and I think Will Howard's getting better as a thrower. They still have a couple games that could be dicey for them, including, of course, Penn State next week.
Mm-hmm.
And the Michigan game will be difficult, but they'll win that. That's a big rivalry game.
Mm-hmm.
If Curtis Rourke comes back and he's healthy and the thumb's good, that Indiana game might be a little iffy. But there's so much talent on that team, so much talent on both sides of the ball. I just think they are a lock for the semifinals and maybe even for the final.
So I look at it right now, and I loved LSU coming out of the gate against Southern Cal. In fact, I liked both of those teams' performances that night. Just one or two more plays from Southern Cal, which, as Leon correctly described, that's what led to that springboard of
It's 3 in a row now for LSU, which is weird.
Yeah.
He lost 3 games under his first 3.
Yeah,
first
as
game
far
of
as
the
the
season.
openers, and
Two
both
to
were against
FSU and one
FSU.
USC.
Yeah, and so I definitely like what defensive coordinator with 2 first names or last names. Not
Baker.
Yeah, not Blake Bell, but Blake Baker.
Bell's the bulldozer. Blake Baker.
Yeah. He could be. Those are 2 first names and 2 last names. It's very confusing. But anyway, he's done a very good job. And I told you guys.
He's done a really good job, actually.
Yeah, I told you guys he was still outside of the top 100 in passing efficiency on the defensive side when they went in and took on Arkansas, but they still did a killer job. I think you guys know I'm a fan of the Southerner, Brian Kelly, especially with Big Vic and them next door just giving me propaganda pieces all the time. But when I think of that loss on a neutral site in Las Vegas versus Ohio State going in and taking on an Oregon team right down to the wire, the team that LSU lost to has kind of lost its way, and this other team
4 losses.
is unbeaten. So it's tough to look at one and not rule in favor of Ohio State, which right now they have unbeaten Penn State still in front of them. They have Indiana, and we will
Also
find
unbeaten.
out.
Indiana also unbeaten.
Yeah. So a pair of unbeaten teams that they would have. I'm just going to go ahead and bang the gavel right now. I am awarding the win to the Buckeyes, represented by Matt Hayes. I am shocked that I am saying that. Buckeye love on XL Primetime.
Champ is here.
Yeah, I am a little surprised.
Champ is here.
Because
Good job.
Because LSU loses to a team that is losing too often, and Ohio State loses to a team that has not lost yet. That's really the only way that the wise rule.
Well, here's the thing, Your Honor. I was actually in character while I gave my presentation.
You were. Did a great job.
I don't understand why I don't get a.
It was awesome.
You should get points for that.
Exactly, points for that.
It was awesome. If the glove don't fit, you must have quit. It was awesome. All right, don't forget Campion Law. They are right here in the city of Jacksonville. CampionLawPA.com. When you need representation, you want to make sure you're local and trust Chris Campion and the rest of his legal team.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealers Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers.
Why go big or go home when you can go epic and save at Arlington Toyota? Mia here, and right now you can lease a new 2024 Corolla LE for only $89 a month. A new 2025 Camry SE for only $129 per month. Need an SUV? Then lease a new 2024 RAV4 XLE for only $199 per month. Our friends at Arlington even have epic lease savings on trucks too. Go epic and save big at Arlington Toyota. Shop arlingtontoyota.com today.
This is Josh Woolsey with Woolsey Morecambe. Woolsey Morecambe is your MVP in the legal game. Our team of skilled attorneys tackle personal injury cases with compassion and expertise. With fumbles like a car or truck accident, we're here to seek the compensation you deserve. Right here in Jacksonville, we've successfully won over $100 million and earned a championship-worthy record. When it's game time, you want a team that plays to win. Contact Woolsey Morecambe at 1-800-WOOLSEY. Offices, Jacksonville.
Packer here, and guys, the countdown is over. I didn't just hit the 100-pound mark. I blew past it thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss. 107 pounds gone just like that. More weight than a quarter keg of beer. Speaking of beer, here's where it gets fun. We're throwing a big celebration at Mr. Chubby's Wings in Ponte Vedra Beach. Yeah, you heard that right. A weight loss party at Mr. Chubby's. The irony's juicier than their wings, but here's the thing. I can celebrate at Mr. Chubby's and still keep the pounds off. If you didn't know, yes, wings are still on the menu while losing weight with Awaken 180 weight loss. Join me in 1010XL on November 9th for the Florida and Texas game, and you could win a spot at my table. Food is included. There'll be ticket giveaways and more for the celebration. If I can shed a whole Mr. Chubby and still throw a party at one, what's holding you back? Call Awaken 180, 844-346-1800, or hit up awaken180weightloss.com, and let's get it done.
Hey there, all you sports dads rocking the best dad bod possible. We love seeing you eat tacos by the handful, and we love it when you bring your kids here too. For years, Lucy claimed that her favorite thing on the menu was sopapillas, with big scoop ice cream. I know that's not a taco, but that never stopped her. I was shooting for Dad of the Year anyway, so I just let it happen. Taco Lou's a great place to bring the family. There's something for everyone, as long as it starts with a taco. And a margarita for mom is always a good thing. At Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
Wow, John, my Clearwater sprinkler system looks great.
All right, Frank, let's go ahead and program your Rainbird timer. How many minutes do you want the zones to run?
John, I think we run from the front 20, the sides 15, the back 10, the garden 5. Clearwater scores!
Well, that's a first, Frank, but you're the boss.
Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage to
ClearwaterJacks.com.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting. This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 22nd, 1975, the Cincinnati Reds win the World Series over the Boston Red Sox in Game 7. Red switch hitter Pete Rose is awarded MVP.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Ackerman Cancer Center offers women's health, diagnostic, and screening services, including contract-enhanced mammography and total body MRI. Early detection is the key. Visit AckermanCancerCenter.com.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Don't be sidelined from an injury that keeps you out of the game. Get the care the pros receive. Now available at Injury Care Centers, newly FDA regenerative treatments that will significantly shorten your recovery time. Sprains, strains, fractures, post-op surgeries, cut your recovery time in half or shorter. Masking pain just makes it worse. Fix it now. Call 904-783-0008. That's 904-783-0008. Injury care starts at Injury Care Centers.
Discover luxury storage life at The Shed, opening soon in Atlanta Beach, for a place to store your cars, boats, and toys. A place for an office, a golf simulator, or a man cave. AC and plumbing available. The list of premium uses is endless. Take a tour on Instagram or go to theshedjacks.com.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Pro Football Hall of Famer Tony Baselli this morning on The Drill looked ahead to Sunday's matchup against the Green Bay Packers.
You talked about Green Bay coming to town. That's not a bad offense. All kinds of weapons outside, a good tight end, a very good back in Josh Jacobs, a quarterback who's young, coming off an injury, but is getting better the last couple weeks, above average to good offensive line. This is a different animal our defense is going to be facing this week.
The Jags got news from the NFL on Monday. Their Week 9 game against the Philadelphia Eagles has been moved up from an 8:20 kickoff to 4:05 on November 3rd. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, my takeaway is that Florida State week, and I've got Florida State fans and former Florida State players coming over to me on social media about, Searcy, we're not that good. Y'all should kill us. You're right. I'm going to take great joy in us killing you. Yes, I am. Absolutely. I haven't forgotten what y'all have done to us over the last 3 years. Just because you're down on me, we won't put you out. And I hope on Saturday we do.
Yeah, I think Mario's going to want to do it. I think Mario's going to want to hang a number.
That's the Searcy we were searching for when he said he wanted him to be better.
Yeah,
He's back.
I think Mario's definitely going to want to hang a number. I'm going to stick in the college football world as well. My takeaway is, Georgia fans, y'all, we love you, first off. We love you here. You guys are awesome on the text line. You jumping on the text line, dog this, dog that. Where were you like a month ago when you got that L hung on you?
Oh, you're talking about after the loss?
Y'all were quiet after that. Didn't hear from you for about 2 weeks. Now you're back barking again.
They're back.
Now you're back barking. And they should be because, it's Georgia. And they're...
Our intent was to come east.
Thank you. All things being equal, no one's beating them, man. It's just, that's kind of the way it is.
It is starting to look, again, a bit like that. But as we said, both sides...
As long as Alabama doesn't get in the playoffs somehow, then they're fine.
Both sides of the ball got to get it together. All right, my takeaway is that Trevor Lawrence is pulling the rest of the team along on the offensive side, which is what most fans visualized when he first came into the league. And how nice is it, not knowing how long it will last? Give him credit for this three-game stretch that he's been on, because he was 75% completion percentage in this football game, made good decisions, did not need to throw the ball a lot, 15 of 20, 193 yards. Again, that was not the best team that they will see throughout the rest of this schedule, but take it for what it's worth. You're supposed to beat up on bad teams. They doubled them up, and he came away with an over 120 passer rating, and he made plays, making Brian Thomas Jr. look good because he's now got an offensive line that's doing a little bit more for him. So I definitely feel like Trevor needs to be given some credit for that. We'll see, going up against Green Bay's defense, what he's going to look like. And look, they're not world beaters on that side of the ball either. But Coach and I were talking about this on the podcast, Leon, that it's not this offense versus that offense. But if you start taking a look at this set of wide receivers, the way Brian Thomas Jr. is playing, Christian Kirk as sturdy as he has been, and then you can sprinkle in the other guys, throw in Evan Ingram and so on, they're just as good, if not better, than what that Packer receiving core is going to bring.
Yeah, but give him an opportunity. If the offensive line gives Trevor time, we've got weapons. We absolutely have weapons. I'd put Brian Thomas Jr. up against any of those wide receivers right now, the way he's playing. Evan Ingram as well. And Tank Bigsby is running the ball effectively. You know what? Just play at your highest level and see what happens. Right. All right? Just do that. Execute at a very high level and let the chips fall where they may. Don't come out there jumping off sides, busted assignments, dropping passes. Be your very best. And if you come up short, then at least you know that you came out there. But if you win, you've got to take that approach this week. You got to be your very best in this game, and then let the chips fall where they may.
And they do have weapons, but it's not offense versus offense. It's this offense versus that defense. That's
true.
And obviously this defense needs to tighten up.
Yeah, that's the key to everything. I I mean, I agree with Leon. I think offensively they're going to be all right. They've cleaned up a lot of things. All right, again, it's a bad team they played last week, but I think they were doing the little things to make them better.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you can build off that. That's not the issue. The issue is they can't stop a runny nose, man. Yeah. They're bad on defense.
Yeah, and
I think they're out of position on defense, which is even worse. And you've got guys that don't know what they're doing half the time out there. That's also even worse.
Yeah.
And then you're running in guys that shouldn't be on a field.
Well, I'm all for Buster and Tyson taking over those cornerback positions.
Yeah, it's just the offense. I'm not worried about the offense. It's the defense, man. The defense is. They're going to need turnovers.
Well,
and I'm not just in this game. Every game, they're going to need turnovers.
Force 11 is some mistakes.
I mean, when Coach Campo was here, even before when we was in the production meeting, he was talking about all the mental bust. Now, if you get beat physically, but you're there, I can understand. That's one thing.
Right.
But if you're busting assignments, the easy assignments you're talking about training camp day one. If you're busting those kind of assignments, then your professionalism is in question.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you care about this game that you're playing to where you're making bust on stuff that you took care this stuff that you went over on day one in training camp?
7 weeks into the season, you're making day one training camp
That's
mistakes.
ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous.
All right, I'm with you guys, and let's just hope that this offense can go toe-to-toe with them, and then the defense can come up with a little something to maybe challenge Jordan Love and company. Since the Jaguars are on the brain, a little bold fact here real quick, if you don't mind, RJ. Oh, yeah.
Here's a bold fact, brought to you by Bold City Brewery, Duval's first craft brewery. Online at boldcitybrewery.com.
You always got fun things happening at both of the Bold City locations. Downtown, right there on Bay Street. You're getting ready for that Packers game. You're walking down Bay Street, head on in. Get you a cold craft from Bold City. And, of course, Roselle Street in Riverside, the production house. And they definitely have that kitchen to go along with that great craft. And you will enjoy it, especially on a Taco Tuesday, that's for sure. All right, Trevor Lawrence. Okay, he's rocking and rolling right now. We just mentioned some of the numbers that he had, 15 of 20 passes, 75%. He now has 1,401 passing yards in 6 career London games. He is now at the top of the charts. Most passing yards in London. Who did he just pass? 1,401 passing yards to become the number one quarterback in London. Who did he just pass?
Is it possible it's Bortles?
Is it the boat?
I'm going with the boat.
That's a good one, the boat.
I love it. You guys nailed it. You guys nailed it because give him a Sammy Pittman right now.
I mean, to be honest, I said, well, who's played there most?
Exactly.
Who's played there most?
Exactly.
But when I can work the boat into the conversation, I'm going to work the boat in because hardly anybody has been over there more than once in recent memory. The Bears were just coming back for first time in a while. But, yeah, the boat. He had 1,209 passing yards in his London games, and now Lawrence 1,401, fourth career win in London as well. Passing the boat because Blake had 3 wins as the starting quarterback in London. So I'll take it all day long. A bold fact brought to you by Bold City Brewery. And you know that they love.
Plus, anytime you get the boat in any kind of conversation.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Ripping cigs and working construction.
The question is, I mean, him being passed, if he knew that, how would he take it?
I don't think he'd care.
Yeah. That's what makes him so profound.
He's one of those
he
dudes, right?
Care.
He just lets us fall right off.
Exactly.
Man. He don't care.
Yeah, he is chill. There is no question about it.
Absolutely.
By the way, if you did a chill meter on both of these guys, which one would be?
Similar, yeah.
Yeah. And they're both just kind of laid back. One you might consider country. I don't know, but they're both super chill.
They're both kind of country.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I grew up in country, man.
Cartersville and Oviedo. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Oviedo's country, bro.
Believe me, it's country. The further you get, is that Sanford County? Is that right?
Seminole.
Seminole County.
Yeah.
What am I talking about? Seminole County. And so it's woods territory over there in Central Florida. That's for sure. All right, RJ, you have got a giveaway before we hand it off to the Frangie Show. What do you got, man?
Absolutely. A pair of tickets to the City of Jacksonville Fall Exhibition baseball game. It'll be the JU Dolphins facing the Florida Gators at 1-1 Financial Ballpark on November 1st. Be caller number 2, 641-1010, and I'll hook you up.
All right, beautiful Bragan Field. They will both be on the baseball grounds coming up for that game. 641-1010. You guys can get hooked up with that pair of tickets, courtesy of RJ. So as we start to look ahead, honestly, it's Ryan Nielsen's job to figure out the way he's going to rotate players in and out, how many guys are going to get more opportunities to maybe take over starters' roles, like Monteric Brown over Ronald Darby. That is going to be a huge, huge key. Now, I just said that Trevor Lawrence now has more victories in London than the boat, but I don't know that he has more victories than this lad in London. That's for sure.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers, the exclusive provider of BioTarget regenerative therapy for pain. Visit GoBioTarget.com for a location near you.
We're talking about the victorious Embedded and Shredded. He just paddled his way across the Atlantic back over here after a successful trip. You had to be an ambassador from Duval to go over there and guarantee that win, did you not?
It was awesome. Had a great time. Met a lot of great new friends. Tons of Jaguar supporters over there. It was the first time I've gone as a fan. I went when I worked at the paper, 2013 through 2016. But it had been 8 years since I had attended a Jaguars game in London. And this time, me and my wife, Jean, went and had a great time. And it was cool seeing it from that perspective. So
it was winter bangers and mashed dinner, wasn't
absolutely. A little dicey early. But they ended up obviously pulling out a big win over a pathetic Patriots team. But still, it's a win, and you move on.
The Carline mentality when it was 10-0 sitting in those stands?
I literally said to Gene, I got up and said, I can't watch this. And I went and got another drink. And by the time I got back to my seat, they were moving the ball.
22 unanswered.
But I literally was like, I can't watch this.
Yeah.
And but literally, right after that, they got going.
All was good.
All was good, and now we'll see a very, this is make or break these next 5 weeks, with what they have coming up. So, they have a chance to totally flip their season.
The Florida schedule or the Jack schedule?
Well, they're both. I mean, it's incredible the similarities, really, of the two.
Yeah.
I don't expect either to do particularly well, but it is in front of them. I mean, if you go and get some of these wins, if the Jaguars can go, 3-2 in these next 5, they will open a lot of eyes and kind of put themselves back in contention. Boy, is that AFC wild card really weak right now.
Yes.
I mean, you look at Denver's in right now, Indianapolis is in right now, Pittsburgh's in right now. I mean, that doesn't seem to be a very strong. I thought the AFC would be loaded. No. Really hasn't been so far.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was pointing to 2 weeks ago, and then they blew it against the Bears, and you never know. But yeah, it's there's more of an opportunity there, and maybe they can offensively get right. Defensively is a huge question.
Y'all trying to speak it into existence.
Why not? Why
Absolutely,
not?
We're just speaking a little defensive aptitude as well.
That'd be nice. What would be nice? A takeaway. We'll talk about that coming up on the Frangie Show. We'll have a scholar athlete. We always enjoy that. And Matt Hayes will join Frank to talk some SEC football. Lots of big games last weekend, and obviously some big ones, as you guys mentioned, this coming weekend. So we'll look forward to Matt's expertise on all that.
My brother, man, welcome back.
Thank you, guys.
Hayes, France, JJ, they all will have it for you coming up. We got to get out of here. We say thanks to Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota, 2 great dealerships. They are both full of deals, opportunities, and good people. They are there to wow you. So make sure you log on, BeaverToyotaSt.Augustine.com. You can find them in the AUG right there on US 1 and BeaverChevrolet.com right there on Phillips Highway. We are done. Joey C., Matty Hayes, Big Searcy, and RJ.